What is happening to my head?
I don't know. I'm not in it. What's happening to your head?
Well, you can see my hair. Why didn't you tell me it looked like that?
It's fine from over here. Why does it look like that?
You're such a butt.
Yeah, but you married it though.
Did I? Are you sure?
Yeah, you liked this butt. You squeezed it today, actually.
Do you have any proof?
No.
Well then.
Was I assaulted out in the wilds today? I didn't know about it.
There we go. Now I'm like an appropriate human height.
Did I get groped and I didn't know?
Well, clearly you knew you got groped, but
I just assumed it was friendly.
Never make assumptions like that. Way to just hit the mic.
God help us all.
I would like to start by telling the tale that could have been, if that's okay.
Have at it.
Okay.
Your expert knowledge in this matter is well documented.
I have. But listen, there was nothing that this movie could have done to make me like it. Because I already knew all the reasons why I hated it. Don't bother. Like, let me save you 90 minutes of your life. Don't fucking watch the movie. I was never going to watch this movie until I heard enough about other people who finally watched it that I was like, okay, I'll watch it for podcast. But I was never planning to watch this movie based on everything that I know about this movie. This, like Snow White, I have an extensive amount of knowledge about without ever having seen it. And you know, I think I was better off.
Yeah, you were. Before we watched this movie, you were better. You were better.
It was a better place.
I won't say you were like a better person or anything, but it's had a significant negative impact upon your function.
This movie. It's everything that's wrong with Disney. Is everything that's wrong with Disney. I guarantee you that probably by the second episode, my voice is gonna start to go again.
Oh, almost assuredly.
I don't talk enough anymore, so my vocal cords have weakened. So now
they're frail.
If we go out with friends and I talk too much, I lose my voice for like 3 days.
It's true, it happened.
And I went out twice this week. So this morning I could not talk.
Nope, you were horsing it up while I was getting ready to go.
I mean, vocal cords are just a muscle, like anything else in your body, so like they can become weak and atrophied if you don't use them. It's why you have to continuously practice singing, and why like there's ways to like stretch your vocal cords and change them and hit higher notes and things like that. But because I use them so much as an actor and then use them a little bit less as like a teacher, and now I work like and don't talk to anyone most days.
Yeah, you got it on your own.
Now it's just like anytime I talk for like more than 3 hours straight, it's over. I felt it happening on Saturday. Friday? One more minute, and then we will get started. I have it planned in my head how I'm gonna do it. You ready? Got your notes?
Mm-hmm.
You sure you're ready? You do a shot?
That's not gonna make anything better.
You never know.
No, I know.
Whiskey was medicine for like a really long time.
Yeah, in an age where people died at 45. Yeah.
So, sounds okay to me.
Medicine for early death and cirrhosis.
Alrighty, let's do this shit.
Whiskey's not medicine for cirrhosis. Whiskey causes cirrhosis.
You ready? All right, 3, 2. Once upon a time, there was a magical couple who was a crime family, and they had a daughter who decided to be a good person and rebel against her parents who were evil and kept an entire kingdom under their thumb. Until one day she made a wish on a star to aid in her rebellion against her parents, and that star came to life as a boy who could not talk. His name was Starboy, and he had the magical abilities to grant wishes. He helped their daughter overthrow the crime boss family and help the kingdom live happily ever after. That is not the movie we watched. I'm America. That's James. This is CityWavesCinema, and we watched the movie Wish. That was the story we were supposed to get. That is not the story we got. Can you imagine how good that story would have been? How great that movie could have been. It was supposed to be in 2D. It was supposed to call back to all the things that originally made Disney as a true honoring of the 100 years of the animation studio, and they said, nah, fuck that. There we go. That's my intro. That's my spiel.
Now, having watched the movie, everything you said was great. If you hadn't watched the movie, what you just listed off is kind of a mediocre story in terms of Disney, and it would be spruced up by their animation prowess and witty dialogue and excellent performances.
That was just the bare bones that they originally proposed.
And maybe they could get, I don't know, John Williams or somebody who's really, really, really good to do all the music and some musical songs and some people who do musicals for a living.
Why was Lin-Manuel not put on this?
Because he was doing something else.
He is in their pocket, and you don't use Lin-Manuel for the 100 years of your studio, or the people that wrote Frozen. There were so many choices that were made in making this movie, and they literally somehow picked the wrong one every single time. Anytime there was a choice, they somehow chose the wrong one. Carry on.
Wish is proof that you can get a selection of incredibly talented and successful people together, and you can try your very, very, very best to make a good movie, and you will just poop out a DreamWorks failure.
Not that DreamWorks movies are all failures, just...
No, but the bad ones are bad.
That is true.
So, listen, we didn't have a good baseline of expectations coming in.
Mine were significantly lower than James, because James didn't know the original plot.
No, I didn't. I'm an adult. Don't care about Disney properties much. But my child watches them now, so like I'm relearning. Boy, dude. Okay. There's
a lot. There's a lot and so little.
There's not one aspect of the movie that had enough good things happen to make it redeemable. Um, I'm gonna run the plot down fast because it's just there's not enough plot to cover it for 2 full episodes. We can bitch for 2 episodes, no problem, but there's not enough plot. Okay, let's go. On an island in the Mediterranean called Rosas lives King Magnifico, who is a sorcerer, and his wife, Amaya. Magnifico has built up the city of Rosas on this island. It's the whole city is the island.
It's a cult.
Okay. Save your voice. You'll need it. Built up this whole city to be a mild utopia. Everyone seems to be having just the most wonderful time there. And it all boils down to a ceremony that everyone does when they turn 18
Or
on the
when
island.
you immigrate to the island.
I suppose so, yeah. Where you turn 18 or join the island, and you are brought pleasantly in front of the king, and you give the king your most desired wish. And it comes out of you and forms a little ball, like a core memory from a much better Disney property. And the king takes your wish, and upon him taking it, you forget what that wish was. And you're not worried about it. Because, oh well.
You can't miss what you don't remember.
Exactly. So the king takes your wish, and he goes up into his tower, and he sticks it in the ceiling, where it will live in perpetuity.
With everybody else's wishes.
Once a month, during another ceremony, the king chooses a wish to grant. With his magic, he grants the wish. So, right out the gate, you look at it and you're like, okay, there's seedy things happening here, or at least there's space for seedy things to be happening here, but like, hey, he grants a wish. And you know, he's genuinely like pushing good things into his community to a certain extent.
When you say that first like chunk, just the whole premise of Rosas, you can see like the original plot line in there, because you're right, it feels like there should be wrongdoing and corruption and evilness already there, and there's just not, and it's somehow worse.
So our central character is the most annoying person you've ever met.
And we've watched DreamWorks movies.
And not for any fault of the actor who portrayed Asha, not for any fault of the animation. I think the animation on her in particular was like decent. But like, boy, they fucking wrote themselves into the. You could tell me it was written by AI.
You could tell me this whole movie was written by AI.
You could tell me ChatGPT shit this out. You could tell me ChatGPT shit this out, especially with all the obnoxious on-the-nose references to other Disney properties, and I'd be like, yeah, okay, I can see it. So Asha is 17 years old and has opinions.
As do most 17-year-olds.
And she has a job interview to be Magnifico, the king's apprentice, which just so happens to coincide with the day of her grandfather Sabino's 100th birthday, which just so happens to be a day that the king also calls for a wish-granting ceremony. Lots of things happening all at the same time, okay? So, Asha goes to the interview and is doing pretty good, makes a good impression on the king, and then when she learns just the slightest amount of information about what the wishes are. Also, by the way, listen. She's our heroine. And she's supposed to be smart. She's supposed to be this whip crack, really smart.
That's how they
character.
describe her.
Yes. And the very, like, inside of the interview to be the apprentice for the sorcerer, she finds her grandfather's wish and goes, would it be okay if maybe today at the wish granting ceremony you did it for my grandfather? Ha ha. And the king's like,
It's like, at least some people usually wait a month.
so even a year before they start asking me for things. And she's like, oh no, oops, I put my foot into my whole mouth. And Magnifico's like, they all do, it's fine.
I don't remember what movie it was because we've watched a lot of really similar type movies lately where they were like supposed to be fantastic and were set up to be one thing and then just weren't.
And then they just weren't.
But I made a reference recently about anime protagonists, and Asha, anime protagonists, so hard over all of it. Like, it's just, she has the stupidity and doesn't make any sense or sound decisions ever.
You know what's kind of funny, now that you mention it, just to have a brief side tangent? In anime, especially...
Female anime protagonists, too.
In anime, especially dubbed anime, the characters always say what they're doing. Always. This goes back to the lands before streaming. Before it was mandated by Netflix, they would openly say, like, part of their dialogue was what is happening on screen.
I'm trying to find a reference point for this.
I struggle to, like, pick out a specific instance of it happening, but, like, we had just started Death Note up for my first view, and it, like, sometimes they'll do it in like a good smart way where they're like, you'll have an inner monologue thought where they'll throw like a voice filter on it, and so the character won't speak visibly but you'll hear his inner thoughts. But in Death Note, every character in the show, from the police captain to what's his fucking face,
Light Yagami?
Light, to the kid with the Death Note,
That's Light.
Oh, that's Light, yes. I'm sorry. Who's the fucking super detective? L. Every one of them is always just saying what's happening.
I will say, you said Death Note, and I was like, Light does that a lot, where he's just like,
Light,
but I'm gonna wait, and I'm gonna write their name. Like, he says everything.
Even before he's hanging out with the demon, he's just narrating what's happening the whole time. And so, like, now that obviously happened before Netflix and the streaming services were like, you gotta make it so that the second screen viewers... So it, like... But I think in anime, it was sort of like a part of the charm of those shows, is like, you didn't notice it. People never bitched about that. The people I know who watched anime for a long, long time never really complained about, like, oh, the character's just always monologuing about what's going on. It's never come up, right? Since the streaming services have gotten in on it, and you start seeing modern movies where that's the thing, it's so fucking obnoxious.
I think the difference is, too, having an internal monologue that you're hearing, but, like, the other characters aren't, versus the other characters talking to you and being like...
Like, conversing with you about what you're saying, about what is happening right now.
Yes.
Like, that... This movie is the worst version of that. Asha has no important dialogue in the whole movie. She could be mute, and the movie would be mildly improved due to the lack of vocal communication.
She also literally doesn't stop. Like, once she starts in a scene, she talks continuously the whole time.
And listen, this is very, very specifically, this is not a knock on the voiceover performance. It's simply not. You get hired to play the role, you record way more lines than ever make it into the movie, and it is up to the people who wrote it, and the people who direct it, and the people who edit it, and the people who approve it to piece together the performance you spat out, right? I don't think any of the voice actors in the movie did a bad job voice acting. I don't think they did. It's one of the few bright spots that there are. Holy Jesus, Mary and Joseph. She does not shut the fuck up. Ever. And every line she has is what is happening right now. Talking about what's happening right now, narrating what's happening right now, telling other people what's happening right now, responding to what's happening right now, planning for the next 5 minutes from what's happening right now, and that is it. There is no more. There's no introspection. There's no thought at all. There's not a pause. There's no breath. There's no weight. There's no stakes. It's a deluge of word vomit constantly, and it bleeds into the songs. This is a musical, by the way. You know how many musicals we've reviewed that are dog shit? More than the ones that were good. But
we don't watch the good one.
You know what's common in Broadway musicals? Good writing.
Mm-hmm.
You know what's common?
They have to be to get people to pay for those fucking tickets.
You know what's common in most Disney musical properties? Good writing.
Yeah.
They made a name for themselves in the musicals. They were doing musicals for forever. It was a part of the thing.
Their writing was so good that then Broadway was like, hey, can we borrow that? And they were like, okay.
So very literally, I said I was just going to run through the plot fast, and then I got really sidetracked.
That's okay. That's what this podcast is for, James. Finish your thought, though.
Okay. This is another moment where we have to circle back to, this is a movie that is the product of a bunch of extraordinarily talented and successful individuals coming together and just bombing outright, okay? The music was done by a couple people who have major credits here. Dave Metzger, who's a Disney mainstay. He's done orchestration and a few composition credits in his tenure. And a lot of what he's done in terms of orchestration, tremendous work. Long-time classics. His composition work, not cracking top 10, not cracking top 50. Mostly forgotten. So that's where we're starting. Brought in to do lyrics, a songwriter and musician named Julia Michaels. If you go look up what Julia Michaels has put together in her career, she is a Benny Blanco-ass music producer. Benny Blanco has written like 4,000 top hits.
Thank you.
He's married to Selena Gomez. Julia Michaels is a songwriter of the modern era. You've heard her lyrics in countless radio songs, countless radio hits, countless club hits. You've heard her words everywhere. And she just took a fat shit in this movie, dude.
She tried to... Honestly, it sounds like she tried to be Timu Lin-Manuel Miranda.
Which is so crazy because she is so talented and has such a catalog of proven work that, like, you didn't need to try and make Encanto 2. You didn't need to come in here and make everyone sing really, really fucking fast for no reason. You're jamming syllables and syllables and syllables into measures that they don't belong in. You're trying to make raps out of these songs. You're trying to make modern pop and club hits out of these musical songs, and it doesn't play. You're sitting there trying to absorb what the character is singing about in an earnest attempt to give a shit about the movie, and she's fucking singing at 1,000,000 miles a minute. Ariana DeBose, who plays Asha, blew up in Hamilton. Okay? She's an exceptional vocalist. She has all the chops and all the talent to do a Disney musical without a doubt. And you guys got her fucking doing Pop 100 in this fucking homage to Disney's 100 years of animation? Dude, if you think back to like classic Disney songs from your childhood, because let's be honest, they've been around for 100 fucking years. You're thinking of like When You Wish Upon a Star, you're thinking of songs from Mary Poppins, you're thinking of all kinds of musical numbers. You're thinking of songs from Cinderella,
Beauty
I'm
and the
thinking Beauty and the Beast, like
Mulan, which has all bangers.
Tarzan. You move even into the modern era. Frozen.
Oh, Tangled.
It's a classic. Tangled. It's
Moana.
a classic. Moana. Phenomenal. Into the Lin-Manuel era. And this...
Princess and the Frog.
Oh my god. This movie couldn't pick a style. Okay, walk with me here. Encanto it's got its hands deep into Hispanic culture,
Colombia,
and digging at the roots and the music. And Lin-Manuel went and he fucking learned how to make the music, and he learned the history, and he learned the origins, and he wrote the music exactly the way he was supposed to. And it's part of his heritage, Puerto Rican. Like, I'm pretty sure. I could be wrong. Don't quote me on that. And when you watch Encanto, all the music feels like it levels up and enriches the film because it belongs. If you hadn't name dropped you were in the middle of the Mediterranean and explicitly stated a place that exists in real life, you could have gotten away with being stylistically vague about your musical. Unfortunately, you name drop the Mediterranean. You know what's around the Mediterranean?
Greece.
Southern Europe, Greece, the Middle East off to the side, and North Africa. You could draw from a bunch of cultures.
Mediterranean is like its own culture
Yes.
too.
But I mean, think about like melting pots of culture. An island in the Mediterranean, you're going to get tons of people from all over, in and out, affecting the way things sound and the way words are said, and just so much can be done with. You set yourself up for success with Mediterranean, and then you were like, what if it was the US top 100 that plays real nice in Iowa? Fuck off.
Again, it's like you could see the beginning parts of what they wanted to do with this movie by having it be there and having all these people flock to it, because that's the big thing, is lots of people come to Rosas, give up their wish, and join the culture. Like, that's the whole thing. So, like, it's one of those things where you're talking about your complaints with the movie, and it alludes to how the movie was set up to be in the first place, and how we could have had a much better one. And it's just, when you start complaining about it, and then you realize, oh, well, that was originally the idea, it's just like, well, then why didn't you do that?
You know what's a problem too, that we've said in this recording, that this soundtrack is akin to Timu Lin-Manuel.
Yes.
We can't say that, because Moana 2 was Timu Lin-Manuel, because it sounded like him.
True.
He has a style and it sounded like it.
True.
It echoed Moana.
True.
It didn't match, but it echoed. This movie echoes United States top 100 pop hits.
More accurately, it echoes the live action Snow White and like almost
And
rips off a song.
And that's a fucking disaster of a movie as well. So like, you're not winning in any sense.
To lend like credit to James's argument, one of the songs sounds like it's trying to be Encanto. One of the songs sounds like it's trying to be the Snow White live action movie. Like, this movie can't, in its efforts to encompass all of Disney history, it couldn't pick a fucking lane.
What's funny is, like, I feel like in an early production meeting for this movie, someone, and probably when it was a good movie to start, someone probably asked the question, like, should we be, like, doing songs from different eras of Disney? That's a great suggestion.
That would have been so cool.
Should we do that? Maybe not, but that's a great suggestion. Stick it on the fucking board. You know what you should have done for this movie to honor 100 years of Disney animation? Listen to 100 years of Disney soundtracks. And instead of trying to hit era after era to make this like rainbow looking soundtrack where nothing really gels, pick the lane that felt the most nostalgic to you. When you watch through everything, you're going to think of a movie where you are just sucked in by the songs and sucked in by the vocal performances and the lyrics and everything. It like makes you want to be a kid again and experience Disney magic for the first time again. That's where you need to go, because for a lot of people who are going to watch this movie, what they want, what your audience wants, is something that's going to make them remember Disney magic at its highest peak in their lives.
And based just on the timeline of everything, if we're talking about that, what you really wanted to aim for then was the Disney Renaissance, because what you're trying to do is you're trying to slam nostalgia button the millennials. Let's be real. That's the target audience right now, especially if you're talking about 100 years of Disney and a movie that's coming out right now. Lots of millennials have kids. They're going to take their kids to see it. You should have slammed your fist so hard into the Disney Renaissance movie that I could have closed my eyes and believed I was watching a movie from then. Like, that's your audience. You had, it's like you had all the pieces.
And then you lit the house on fire. You had all the pieces of the jigsaw puzzle arranged to look like it, but you hadn't connected any of the dots yet. And then you went, huh, and you lit the house on fire. And just stood outside and went, it's a shame we never made that puzzle. Psychotic behavior. Okay, plot.
We just gave the intro. You basically did the whole thing that Asha did.
Now that I've done a quick tangent, this is my show. I'm supposed to talk and not stop.
I have to raise my hand. For those of you that listen to podcasts but never watch us, I literally sometimes just have to sit here with my hand up so that James remembers that I also have a thought.
Turn that screen off. Okay.
I'll just go get it quickly.
We'll get at the break. Asha wants the sorcerer, Magnifico, to grant her grandfather's wish. And he's like, no. Now.
Are you going to talk about the reason that he gives?
The reason he gives is plausible enough to not quite be villainous. However, it is mean-spirited. The reason he gives a no answer is because her grandfather's wish is vague enough that it could turn out to be very terrible. The wish, I believe, is that he would leave behind a legacy that is remembered for a long time.
He's going to inspire the next generation. That's what it is.
There you go. That's the wish. That is pretty vague. You can see how obviously it's worded to be a very innocent sounding type of wish. You're not really hoping for anything in particular, but there's room for interpretation in a negative sense. And if you use magic to let this guy have the power to do something unclear that will inspire the next generation, it could straight up be a dictatorial warlord in a matter of moments. So,
one of the wishes that he does grant, just so you have a reference of what he deems as a worthy wish, is there's a lady who just wants to make the most beautiful dresses in the land. And he's like,
done.
Granted.
Easy. So, now, I'm not fucking advocating for Magnifico here. He's a massive pile of shit, as we will explore momentarily. But the reason he gives for not granting Asha's grandfather's wish is fair. It doesn't make me happy to say it, but it's fair.
You could see how someone could do evil with that sort of wish.
Yes, it is. It's the sort of decision you make when you're like, I've considered all of the potential outcomes and I don't like many of them.
What he does next, though, is...
Now this is where he decides he's going to be a Disney villain, but not even a good one. Magnifico clues in Asha that in a moment that we will not talk about again, his family was slaughtered and kicked out of their homes, which is how he ended up here. And he swore he would never do that, so he learned all his magic from books. And then he does not intend to ever grant many of these wishes because many of the wishes are pretty vague.
Nor will he give the wishes back so people can try to just do it themselves.
Right. So Asha's argument is, well, if you won't grant them, why not just give them back so the people could like just try and do it non-magically? And that's not a good reason to give these wishes back. He should give the wishes back, but that's not a good reason why.
What's your reason?
He should give the wishes back because they shouldn't have fucking offered them to him in the first place. He should give the wishes back to, well, frankly, he should grant all the wishes because he's magic and he can control outcomes. Short of granting all the wishes, he should stop granting wishes and just give everybody their wishes back and continue to use his magic to make Rosas a brilliant utopia.
Or, I mean, make your brilliant utopia and go the Wizard of Oz route where people can just come and ask you to grant their wish.
And you can just be like, maybe.
Yes, no, yes, no. Like,
the setup is really bad. Everything about what they're doing is wrong.
I feel like it could have been really cool. Because, like, on paper, it sounds really cool. But again, it's like, maybe if we'd had the original concept where it's this crime family and they're, like, hoarding like, I don't know. I just, ugh. Carry on.
So, Asha realizes Magnifico's never going to give any of the wishes back because he says it out loud. And then she's like, you're mean and bad. And he's like, well, you're not going to be an apprentice. That's pretty obvious. And so she leaves. And she goes back to her house. And she's like, Mom, Grandpa, he's hoarding all the wishes and he won't give any of them back. Don't you want to know what your wish is? And Grandpa's like, fucking no.
I don't want to know wish that can never come true.
You said he's never going to grant it? No, I don't want to know what the wish is. Why would I want that? Why would I want to be so sad that the man who's magic won't grant my wish because it's so heinous to him? You're gonna fucking tell me? That's crazy. That's cruel. Now Asha, she's 17. Teenagers are all idiots. So, that I was one. I was an idiot the whole time. The entire time. You were one. You were an idiot the whole time. I'm 100% certain. You know why? Because 100% of teenagers are idiots 100% of the time they're teenagers. And it doesn't always stop at 20 when you stop being a teenager. Sometimes it never stops, and you're an idiot forever. This happened in the case of me. So, Asha tries to convince her grandfather and her mother about why the king is bad and he's doing bad things. And they're like, what if you shut up? And she's like, no, justice. And her grandfather's like, what about you get the fuck out of my house? And I was like, whoa.
I will also say, Asha, just going back to her not being a great
she's not
protagonist or character, is she doesn't go for justice immediately. She just wants her grandfather to, she's very selfish. She just wants her grandfather to have his wish and her mom to have her wish. And she literally doesn't try to save anybody else's wishes.
That's true, but the initial spark for the fury over everything is that not only will her grandfather's wish not be granted, nor will it be given back to him, everybody else who has a wish that is deemed not acceptable by Magnifico will suffer the same fate. So there's a small element of community caring within her, but it's definitely not the primary driving force in her actions for the remainder of the movie. Now, she will run off into the woods and do a little song that's not as good as Into the Woods, wherein, oh man, Into the Woods, that was a great musical.
Not a, super great movie, but a good movie.
fucking beat the shit out of this movie.
True.
And Chris Pine's in that one too. So, agony.
I will sing it. I can't. We can't
So
get
funny.
copyrights.
So funny. So Asha's out being sad, and she
Singing a
decides
discount
instead of
white song.
making her like giving her wish to the king, she's going to send her wish directly into the stratosphere and wish upon a star. Disney. So she wishes on a star, and then an anthropomorphic little star who resembles that you remember from the Super Mario Brothers movie?
Yeah,
the sad star who's like
yes,
super depressed.
One of my favorite characters
Just
in animation history recently.
A top-notch character in that movie.
There is no hope.
A discount version of that star rockets out of the night and does a little bit of magical hijinks in the woods, in which we need to go on another tangent.
Okay. Is it about talking animals?
It's about the nightmare that is observing this film with your eyes.
I forgot about the trees because I was on my medicine last night.
During this...
I forgot about the fucking
During this tangent, I am going to refer to a piece of media that I wager most people listening to this show will not be familiar with, and I will do my best to explain it in words.
I forgot about the trees.
As the anthropomorphic star bounces around the woods, getting little magic stardust on stuff, we experience...
And everyone's singing about how everything's made up of stars, just so you know.
Oh, yeah, I was so horrified by what was happening on screen, I did not listen.
Oh, well, that's like the whole rest of the plot of the movie, so it's kind of important that you remember this song. That
oh my
people
God.
and animals and everything is made up of stardust. So we're all stars.
I mean, on a technicality, scientifically, that is correct.
And even like on a like magical like
it's not magic, but it is. We all are stardust.
And even like on a magical Disney level, I could see them using that science and being like, yes, no, we're all made of stars. And like it sounds like a great sounds like a great concept for a song.
It's like you wrote down this brilliant idea, and then when it came to the execution, everyone simply forgot how to do their jobs.
But yeah, no, that's why at the end of the movie they're like, we're all stars. We're made of stars.
And the end of the movie's so shit.
Anyways, carry on.
So,
I'm talking about the scene.
To describe the animation of this movie, you must understand two things are happening at the same time. All the backgrounds are 2D. Looking hand-drawn.
The art's pretty on the background.
Looks fine. All the characters are 3D. Not like all the way, but they're 3D.
And not like Frozen Tangled 3D. More like
Encanto 3D.
I wouldn't even say that. Like they feel...
It's just different art style.
And maybe it's because the background is 2D, but it feels very, like, they feel chunky, and I don't know how else to describe it, but, like, they feel, where, like, I can feel, like, the Frozen and Tangled and Moanas are, like, actually real people. This felt animated. Like, it almost gives, like, a eerie stop-motion feel or something. There's just, like, a quality to it that I can't accurately put into words, but it reminds me of the Barbie movies of the early 2000s, where it's just like, yeah, it's animated, but why doesn't it feel right to look at? Carry on.
So, up to this point in the movie, everything has just been, like, off-putting. It's like when you do some analog horror stuff, and you're looking at a mimic of a person, where it's like something's just not quite right about it, and it's very uncanny valley. Everything on screen in this movie is uncanny valley.
It's giving Backrooms.
I wish it was giving Backrooms, because then I would have an impending sense of dread the whole time.
Oh, you didn't? My bad.
No, I had an impending sense of revulsion the whole time.
This movie does give me the ick.
It looks it's God damn it. And I know that like the animators flexed so hard to make it this way.
Again.
Like a lot of incredibly difficult work was done to make this abomination.
You had so many good things.
You could have simply drawn the whole movie.
Oh, like it was supposed to be. Sorry.
You could have Princess and the Frog did. You could have Beauty and the Beast did it. You could have, if you really felt like it, to really like make yourselves a part of history, you could have hand-drawn every frame of the movie.
And no one got time for that
No
anymore.
one's got time for that. But you could have. You have the team. And if you pitch that to them, like, guys, we're going to make a modern-day hand-drawn animated movie. And you will have your name on a piece of incredible Disney history. What guys in the animation studio are going to be clamoring to hand draw a bunch of fucking frames? It's only a 95-minute movie. You don't even have to do a 2-hour fucking slog. It's barely feature length. Like, you could have just done that. It's Disney. It's fucking Disney. It's the media conglomerate that owns everything.
They also have like all their archive shit, so you could even do what they used to do and just use the same animation.
You could literally reuse animation. And we would have been like, ooh, that's a nice little feature. How fun.
Those would have been cool Easter eggs. Those were the Easter eggs I wanted,
look
James.
Look at the cool Easter egg. She does the same twirl that Belle does in the fucking scene in the movie. Instead, we've named the background characters Bambi and John.
And all her friends are the seven dwarves.
And the Bambi and John jokes are like the good ones.
All her friends are the seven
no,
fucking
we can't
dwarves.
even get into that yet. We
already met them because they went to the interview.
Yeah, and they're all awful. Every one of them.
And not like subtly the seven dwarves. Like one of them goes, I'm grumpy. Like literally, this is why I'm grumpy. Like...
So, tragically, Stardust gets on forest stuff. It starts with a small collection of mushrooms, and it's really not so bad when it's just the mushrooms who are granted sentient life and start singing.
They also have
really not that bad.
They also have a really funny joke where they're like, she goes, I'm seeing things, and it's funny because like mushrooms, haha, drugs. Like it's again like the movie tries and fails so many times. Carry on. Mushrooms.
And so some Stardust gets on the trees.
And many animals.
Many animals. Including her pet goat Valentino, who will go from bleeding like a goat
and being cute to being annoying.
Alan Tudyk, just too much.
Which we love Alan Tudyk, don't get me wrong. But...
man basically can do no wrong. These trees are some of the... I've seen real life violence on screen. I've seen real life like police incidents on screen. I've seen real life war footage on screen. I have not been so taken aback by something on screen, maybe not long-term scarred, but like in the moment, genuinely startled and upset at the coming to life of these trees.
It's very jarring.
We go from having these 2D drawn trees to having them morph into shiny, almost balloon-like trees.
There's not a good way to describe them.
The best way I can describe it is if you happened to grow up religious in the United States, as many, many people have done, you might be entitled to financial compensation. And you might have seen some like really low rent 2-bit animations done without much financial backing by a couple of guys just trying to do something religious for their gang, right? And when it's just those couple of guys in a 2004 computer, your expectations aren't exactly high for the quality of animation. I mean, yeah, it's going to be ugly, but like you're not expecting it to be Disney. And I think a problem with it is they went from being detailed, drawn trees to being blurry masses that look like paint has been like dried pre-existing paint has been filled with liquid and pushed out from the wall.
You know where those trees would fit in great? In the middle of a Meow Wolf exhibit.
Yeah, where it'd be just unsettling enough that you're like, this is cool art. But in the Disney film, honoring 100 years of animation, it's like, why?
Animation where we've had talking trees.
Did Disney
This is not foreign.
Did Disney do Who Framed Roger Rabbit?
Yes!
Okay. Who Framed Roger Rabbit
would have been an excellent 100 years of Disney.
Was like a modern miracle in the world of animation.
I recently watched a whole documentary on how they made it. Holy shit.
What if instead of the trees being scarring to young children and those of us who are religious, but instead you Who Framed Roger Rabbit the trees and make them overly cartoony. Now, you couldn't really do it with the mushrooms because you just made them flap mouths and you gave them eyeballs. That's fine. They're little. They're not that big on screen. But these are enormous, fucking scary-looking trees.
Who have solos.
Why can't their... You know what's really upsetting? Their eyes aren't eyes.
No.
They're just dark pits.
Yeah.
I'm fucking telling you, man, that made it. Listen, never give up on your dreams and never give up on your wishes. You know why? Because slop is making it in Hollywood and on the radio. And people are using AI to make their shit sometimes. Even people who use it just as a baseline to like do more past that. Like, if you're doing art, or you drawing, you're animating, you're making music, like, you can get away with murder. You don't have to be fucking good at all. You could be mediocre and make thousands of dollars. Because garbage is making millions. You don't have to be a good writer. You don't have to be... And I don't think this movie was made with AI. The script, maybe. But...
AI wasn't around yet, unfortunately.
In 2023, we had Grok, I'm pretty sure. Well, no, maybe not.
No?
Maybe not. I feel like 2023 was very recent. That was 3 fucking years ago.
ChatGPT launched in 2022, on November of 2022. So the idea that we would have any...
It wouldn't be a very good one. They've gotten better.
Good language learning model about at that time, to the extent that you're talking like this.
Yeah, probably not.
It was nothing. That was back when Mandy was probably still working on it.
That was back when trash was trash and it wasn't generated.
I'm a spork. Sorry.
You can do anything. And if enough people think it's okay, you can do that forever. because no one thought this was okay, except the XX who fucking said yes. I'm not even sure the people who made it think it was okay. I'm unclear on that. But they made it all the same, and we watched it so you don't have to. And we'll finish the movie next episode. At least I hope we will. Ugh.
I told you guys when you voted for this that I had
Pre-existing trauma.
so much knowledge about this godforsaken movie. The concept art was just so good, and it's been so long since we've had a good Disney love story. Not since fucking Tangled have we had a good Disney love story. You want to go get the charger, babe? Well, I set the vote up. Where's that button? Let me get off here. Okay. Alrighty. Here. Hey, he closed the door this time, guys. Alright, next movie. Alright. Things that we have to do are like the new Avatar Fire. I'm not writing it all. Avatar Fire, we did. Not Last Airbender. The blue people. The new Mario movie is one we also have to do. Going back over here. BFG, so we can finish the Roald Dahl shit. And then let's do trying to break up some of this Disney musical, because we have done a lot of musicals recently. But let's do, also because James wants to watch this movie. Alright. It's Mario, it's Mario Universe, right? Mario New. You all know what that means. Alright. I will be back. Alright, can y'all hear me? Can y'all see me? What the hell? That was weird. Okay, I think everything's okay. Alright, like, stream went down on my end. So, we're good. Okay, fine. That's all I needed. Exactly. Entertainment Weekly. Just like, what is happening to my stream? Okay. Is it just my feed that's being weird? How's my heat doing? Okay. That's fine. Okay. Anyways, Entertainment Weekly did like top 10. 9th place is Mulan. It's so weird. Like, I can see myself being live. But it keeps going down. Yeah, okay. Don't love that. What the hell? What is happening? Okay. 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 If you can hear me, I am going to... I don't want to try to shut everything down. Yeah, I know. It's not an us problem. Whatever this is, it's a YouTube issue, it seems like. And we're not the only ones that have been having issues like this. Markiplier himself has been having issues with live streams. I don't know. Yeah, I don't know. Now we get an alert that something bad is happening. But I don't have anything on my Streamlabs side. This is a YouTube issue. Now I have a stream status as poor. Fucking bizarre. Okay. It seems to have settled down. I just wanted to talk about the top 10 live action Disney list that Entertainment Weekly put out. I'm glad this is happening now and not like when we're recording. Anyways, just gonna watch this and talk about it. The top 10 Disney list that Entertainment Weekly put out of live action Disney remakes is questionable at best. And like, I can't even keep a live stream over here. Alright, I'm just gonna talk until James gets back and hope that by then this has all figured itself out. So coming in at number 10 is Lilo and Stitch. The live action Lilo and Stitch. Number 9 is Mulan. Number 8 is Cruella. Which, granted, I have not seen Mulan or Cruella, so can't testify to those. Christopher Robin. 101 Dalmatians comes in at number 6, which honestly, good movie. Live action was a good movie. Even the second one was good. Number 5 is The Little Mermaid. Number 4 is Pete's Dragon. Which, like, okay. Number 3 is The Jungle Book. I did see that one. That movie is trash. Especially compared to the original. Disgusting. Number 2 is Snow White. I don't know what type of drugs the person who made this list is doing, but it's not the good kind. It's not the good kind. And then number 1 is the 2015 Cinderella. Which, like, was okay, and Lily James is hot, but not memorable at all, except for that dress, which is fucking gorgeous. So yeah. That's... The fact that Snow White is number 2 is insane. Oh my god. And we're down again, and we're up again, and we're down again, and we're up again. The fuck? Okay. We're probably just gonna have to rock with it. And hope to God that it figures its shit out. If you haven't seen it, like, it's not bad. The dress is pretty. Lily James is hot as hell. Sorry, I'm updating James. I've wanted to see Cruella, but, like, I also don't. I don't know who decided that was the ranking. I would have put Lilo and Stitch way higher, and I didn't even like that movie, than fucking Jungle Book. Dumbo! The live-action Dumbo was not bad. That was an actually decent movie. I can add Cruella to the list. Why not? Tim Burton did the Dumbo. It was good. It was good. Didn't hate it. Thought it was like I thought it was a fresh take on Dumbo. That's what I want from my live actions. I want a fresh take that pays homage to the original. And if you can't do that, if your story doesn't do that because it was so good the first time around, maybe don't make a live action. Things that could use a fresh take. I know we've talked about this a million times, but like Atlantis, Treasure Planet, things that didn't get enough fucking love for how good the story is the first time around, do that. Don't do Stitch. Don't do Moana. Like, now it says my stream is healthy. and all my errors have gone away. Weird. Weird, weird, weird. But at least we waited out whatever hellscape it was. And maybe James will come back sometime soon. One can hope. This movie. I think I will forever mourn the movie that I could have had. Atlantis would be so good. I loved that movie. That's probably where my love of having crystal necklaces really started. I had the McDonald's crystal necklace. I fucking loved that thing. I think Treasure Planet was a gorgeous movie that just didn't get any love. Myself included. I did not like that movie, but everyone talks about it so highly, I feel like I need to give it another try. Hunchback of Notre Dame could be interesting. Again, not like a super well-loved one, but like a good story with good songs. They made a musical out of it recently for Broadway that's really good. Stuff like that. Do that. Leave my fucking beloved animations alone. Leave my Tangled. Leave my Hercules. Leave my Stitch. They're already good. They already make you millions and millions of dollars in fucking merchandise. Leave them alone. Atlantis. Atlantis really gave me my love of crystals. Because they're little glowy crystal necklaces. And then it's followed up later on in life by Final Fantasy 9, specifically. Garnet has a really big crystal necklace that she wears. Really like crystal necklaces that are shiny and magical. Especially if they glow blue. Yeah, I don't know. I'll forever mourn the movie I could have had. And also, like, as someone who loves wishing stars and that sort of type of magic, and to have the love interest be a star, 10-year-old me would have lost their fucking mind. It seems okay now. We kind of just waited it all out altogether. But, like, at one point, Streamlabs even went down.
That's not great.
And so I had to start stream up here again, and then it bounced over there. But this is where all the warnings. Streamlabs has not given me a warning, you know, like it sometimes does.
Yeah.
It's been all over here. It literally went from, like, stream is great to stream is gone. No data. Stream is great. Bad, 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 bad. Stream is great. Oh, and a warning. So, it's just, like, we're gonna just have to power through it. Like, this is behind. Don't pay attention to it.
You will.
We're just gonna have to ride it out.
Where are we in the plot?
Right
The
after...
trees. We're at the trees.
Yeah, right after she sings,
Cool.
all the people are stardust. The animals tell her that she's made of stardust, and so she's also
God damn
a
it.
star.
Alright.
And magical.
Alright, let's do this shit.
Yeah. Oh, I didn't save this shit.
All that time.
Sorry. I got distracted by stream dying. Oh, we're watching Mario.
Fucking cool.
It can only be better than, like, literally everything that we've watched recently.
Mark got his GoPro sponsorship.
No fucking way he did!
And then he immediately destroyed his custom macro lens mod by doing dumb shit.
Oh, go Mark. I'm so happy for it. He literally hasn't shut up about it for a fucking month. Alright. Okay. I mentioned Markiplier's name like one too many times in this stream. You ready?
Yeah.
Alright, 3, I don't have any intro for this one. 2.
You ever look at a tree and wish you were dead?
I thought we were done talking about the trees.
I thought you might come up with an intro in 4 seconds, but you didn't, so I jumped on in there.
I really,
Regret not doing anything?
No, I really had my intro set up for the first half. And then the second half was
Didn't
just...
plan to say that.
Nah.
Welcome to CityWavesCinema. I'm James. That's America. We're doing Wish. Wish fucking sucks. Here's why. Now, if you listen to the first episode, then you'll know that we're picking right back up with the trees turning into people, kind of. And it's a
Anthropomorphic, is that the word?
yes, and it's a nightmare, deep hellscape. So as it turns out, when the star fell from the sky and started hanging out with Asha, everybody done seen that.
They didn't see it was a star. They just saw a really pretty light.
Pretty light.
That made them happy. Sorry.
And it made them happy. Magnifico
Was not happy.
like a child, like a petulant ruler.
Someone's coming to steal my toys.
Interpret it as a threat.
Literally.
He very specifically says, I've just been threatened. With no proof of the fact. It is this exceptionally deep-running paranoia that will propel the remainder of this film.
You know, that paranoia that they established in his character?
Nope. So, Magnifico interprets it as the threat. And despite his wife's best attempts to get him to not do this, he will, over the course of the next 15 minutes of movie, try to figure out who did it, not figure out who did it, turn directly to the Book of Evil Magics, all at the same time that a heist is occurring.
Well, also his wife says, no, don't do that. And then he goes and accuses, basically, it's the first time we see him be mean to his people. And he's like, if you tell me who the traitor is, I'll grant your wish. And if you don't tell me the traitor is, or you help the traitor, your wish will never be granted.
Now, while he's having this little meltdown, Asha ropes all her friends into... No, Asha ropes one of her friends, Dahlia, into the scam to get Asha, Valentino the Goat, and the Star up into Magnifico's chambers to steal, at the very least, her grandfather and her mother's wish back.
All her friends know about the Star, though.
Yeah, yes, all her friends know about the Star.
It's important for later, for the small plot that there is.
So, while the fucking... Oh my god. It pisses me off to fucking talk about it. While Magnifico rants and rails, he is delayed by Dahlia so that Asha can fuck around in the office.
It is important to know that the way that he is waylaid, just because he's about to sing a song about it, I'm saying that for James's benefit because he looked exasperated. The way that he is derailed is they all ask him questions about the things that he just said. Like, what if we have a hunch, but we don't have, any proof? Or what do you mean by this, that, and the other? And he gets so annoyed and butthurt that people are asking clarifying questions.
He gets cranky that he's not being treated with blanket authority.
Blind devotion.
Yeah, blind devotion.
It's a cult. Sorry.
So, eventually he gives up on the people and he goes inside, sings a song about how fucking handsome he is.
And why would anyone ever question him?
And then, goes ahead and unlocks the super forbidden magic, which pisses the star off for some reason. And Asha, the star, the goat, and the two wishes.
Just one.
Oh,
she only gets
her
she only gets
grandfather's.
her grandfather's.
Barely get out at the end of it, right?
All the while too, because they went up there and they got the wish, right? And Magnifico comes up there while she's still in his like inner sanctum and is singing about like, I'm gonna find this traitor. Who is this traitor? Where could this traitor be? Why would anyone question me? I love mirrors and am so handsome. That's the whole song. Not even joking you.
That's pretty much how it goes.
And meanwhile, Asha's right fucking there with this star that this powerful being
simply not hiding well.
Has no idea is there. Like, at all. And let's just say assuming that the being near the star makes you happy, because that's like, they saw the light, it makes them happy.
Mm-hmm.
Wouldn't you feel that star's energy near you, especially if you're a wizard?
It only made them happy when it flew in. It doesn't seem to have that effect on anything else unless it sprinkles you with stardust.
I still feel like an all-powerful wizard would know that there's a fucking star or a thief.
He's not all-powerful, and he's a bit of an idiot.
Why are
you're putting way too much credence in this guy's capability to be a person. He has no background. His character is.
Wouldn't it be nice if we knew that?
Yes, his character is exclusively flaws. Like, you're putting story on him that does not exist. You are asking the universe, wishing on a star right now that this movie was better, and it's just not. And it won't be. And that's a terrible tragedy for you in particular, but it's just the way Disney rolls, man. Fuck you and give me your money. Now, Asha escapes, shows her grandfather his wish. He's like, that's great. Doesn't he absorb it into his chest?
Yes, no, he takes it back.
He takes his wish back, which means it won't ever be granted. But now he can try.
Now he knows and can try. Even though he said he didn't want to know.
So, he changes his mind on a dime. And people can change their minds, but, like, we don't see any of the process of him changing his mind. It's just like, oh, yes, I've always wanted to get my wish back and put it inside me.
If only there had been character development, or...
If only this movie had 30 minutes more of runtime so they could do something with it.
I don't even think that would help them.
Not if they continued with the fucking theme they had. So, Magnifico becomes corrupted by the dark magic. And then he finds out Asha did it. And so he rolls up to her house, kicks the door in, crushes her mother's wish in front of her and absorbs it into himself, somehow empowering him like a fucking lithium-ion battery.
And he's like, oh, I didn't know wishes could make me more powerful.
It's like if you popped a boba in your mouth and it was wet and you went, oh, that's the reaction. So Asha throws a bookshelf at him, and her and her family escape with the help of the star and row a boat to a nearby small islet. Halfway there, Asha's like, oh, I did a oopsie by being myself. I have to rectify this immediately, but I will not learn. And dives off the boat to swim back to shore. In the meantime, Magnifico's still just caught up.
He's telling everyone that Asha stole people's wishes and broke them.
Yeah, making her out to be like public enemy number one.
Which also could have saved everyone a lot of time if he had just claimed that the light came from him.
Yes. There are a dozen instances in this movie where if one character makes a mildly different decision, none of the rest of the movie happens, which is too many close calls for a good script. So Asha's in hiding, observing this town hall, basically, where it is unveiled that her friend, Sleepy the Dwarf, narked on her so that he could have his wish granted to be a soldier. But wait, he is granted the role of a knight in the kingdom and then is immediately possessed by Magnifico and his dark magics. So he's now just like a fucking
Zombie.
pawn, yeah, zombie. Um,
Evil zombie.
and so Simon as Magnifico, as Simon, sorry, declares that there are 6 more traitors, rattles off the other discount dwarves, and they all rush off to go hide at their shy friends
Bashful.
at Bashful's little underground hideout. And
Also,
dude, that was such a fucking slap in the face of people who have social anxiety because they named it.
yes.
They holy fuck, man. You have these characters, tertiary. They don't need to be main characters, but you have them and you like sniff their existence twice. And in both instances, the one thing you've done a lot of work to really show off is that the bashful dwarf just appears and disappears at random. Okay? And you're like, well, that's a bit odd, but like everything in this movie's fucking terrible anyway, so like whatever. And so when they get to this like underground hidden chamber that's decorated all nice and cozy, uh they're like they're like, wow, what's your fucking name? Because I don't remember it. You did all this? And Dolly is like, it's okay to have social anxiety and not want to be around people. And then we just move right on from that. Like, dude, there's a way to there's even a way to quickly address uh mental health and anxieties and disorders and all sorts of other things that plague everyday people all the time. I have several friends with social anxiety. You know what they don't do? Appear and disappear at random and build cozy underground sanctums.
I would have had the money.
And also, people who are around them never, to my knowledge, put a hand on their shoulder and go, it's okay that you're broken, and move on. That's insane. It's not how people talk to each other. That's fucking crazy. So, now that we've had that brief interlude, we're going to sing a song that you know what this song is directly inspired by? You remember those old videos? I don't actually know if you've ever seen these. Maybe I just saw them because I was homeschooled. Where street performers do stomp in like these trashed up studios with like brooms and stuff, and they just use the environment to make the music.
You know, Stomp made those.
Yes,
right?
I know.
Okay.
Yes, but
yes, I saw that. Like that was a performance arts thing that our choir director showed us all the time.
Okay, that was something I had to see for school. So it
was that supposed to be your music education?
No, I had music lessons and stuff for that. That was like I think that was like a cultural arts type of thing. I was privileged, don't forget. I had instruments, not trash cans. So this song is like it's like they're rally together, get ready for our third act, making moves to beat the bad guy song, right?
Which would be really cool if we gave a fuck about any of these characters.
Very percussive, very normal. And it's like you sit there and you watch it and you go, man, they're being loud as fuck for being criminals of the state in the state presently. And in the middle of the song, the queen just arrives.
Yeah, she finds that she was told by a mouse to like.
She was told by a squirrel that.
No, it was a mouse.
Oh yeah, it was a mouse. Yeah, it was a mouse.
She was told by a mouse like, "Hey, remember when you told Asha all these things about what, Rosas is supposed to be? You should do those things."
And so she found their underground lair with no troubles.
Maybe it's because they were singing. Maybe it's a whole branch in the Birkins. That would have been
They killed
funny.
my grandma.
That would have been funny if they were like, they're like, how'd you find us? And she's like, you literally were screaming.
It would have been crazy if Magnifico just like killed Saba. Just like, if I can't have the wish, no one can. Ice is the old man. I'd have been like, damn.
I got really lost. I got really lost compared to what I was talking about.
I'm thinking about things that would have made the movie better for me. And you inspired me by being like, what if we talked about how the queen got there?
I would have really laughed if they were like, so how'd you find us, your majesty? And she was just like, literally, you guys were yelling.
So the gang comes up with this plan. The queen and her homies are going to infiltrate the sanctum that Magnifico's set up. And they're going to try to open up the ceiling and free all the wishes. Asha is going to try to distract Magnifico by running around the woods. The problem is, the queen is the one who delivers the news that Asha's been spotted in the forest to the king. And he, for as much of an idiot as he is, does not buy her incredibly shambolic performance. And sends Simon in disguise as himself to hunt down Asha.
Star will also give Asha
a magic wand that doesn't work.
Well, a magic wand, and then doesn't explain or give Asha the ability to use it.
Hey, I don't know if you knew this. Star doesn't talk, and also isn't a boy, and doesn't fuck. So, what's the point of anything?
Well, later on when Asha's like, I can't use this, blah, blah, blah. Star just bonks her on the head and she's like, oh, it's okay now. Like.
That does happen. That's a real thing. That's a real thing that happens.
So Star could have bonked her on the head earlier.
Just could have done it. So Asha finds out too late that this Magnifico is actually Simon in disguise. Simon is then jumped by John the Bear and then 4,000 rabbits.
Meanwhile, Magnifico...
Okay, and here's an important thing. Amaya and Dahlia, the queen and Dahlia, are looking for information just generally in Magnifico's study.
About how to stop him.
And Amaya reads through parts of the dark magic book, doesn't do any of the spells, but reads through parts of it, and discovers that once you have done merely 1 ounce of dark magic, 1 instance, you are eternally condemned forever and ever and always to be a dark sorcerer eternal. You're going to be evil forever, and it will never leave you, and there is no redemption.
There is no has-been hotel.
It is an instant movie killer to not provide an option or avenue to redeem a villain. Do you need to follow through or execute on that? No, you simply don't. Dozens and dozens of properties, Disney included, do not redeem their villains. And some of them kill their villains. And that's a bold maneuver. But every one of them has options. Normally, it's in the form of a villain being like having merely a coherent thought and being like, I'm being crazy, maybe I should stop. And that, like, most of the time never happens. And they get theirs. But in this movie, before the climax of the movie, it's just written in stone. He's doomed. He's doomed forever. And there's nothing we can do about it. If you were waffling on his character, which why would you be? They didn't write any of it. If you were waffling on his character, waffle no more. He's bad guy eternal. For what? What's the point? We know it's a Disney movie. They're going to try to fucking magic of friendship this shit in the end anyways. They always do. So what's the point? You gotta be able to offer him the path back. and he has to choose to do it or not. And we didn't even fucking do the path. So, yes?
No, continue.
It's just like, there's no stakes. Like, even at the end of the movie...
We'll get to... Don't get there yet.
Alright.
Because we'll get to how very little stakes
Say your
there.
fucking thing.
My little thing here is that, you know how James told you that Magnifico sends Simon to go, like, hang out with Asha, and he's just gonna wait there?
Hang out with...
So that he can, like, capture Star, because, like, he's not entirely an idiot. The dude waits for, like, in hiding somewhere, and watches these kids just, like, start to release all the wishes, and Star is in there, and then... for dramatic timing, I guess, he waits until all the wishes are being released for him to, like, do anything. He just sits in there and, like, does nothing.
So, eventually he does arrive and he starts raining the wishes in, and the gang all escape somehow, and get down amongst the populace who have gathered at this point. And he's just, like, jerking himself off and talking about how great he is and how great he is for the country and the city and all this shit. And then he's talking about how he's going to absorb all the wishes and the star, and he's going to be the most powerful, blah, 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 blah.
And then he does,
cares?
in, like, 2.5 seconds.
He does. He absorbs all the wishes and the star. Asha attempts to stop him and gets, like, mopped easily, because I don't know if you knew this, but Magnifico's a fucking sorcerer who's just constantly power creeping and absorbing all these powerful wish dreams. And Asha is a 17-year-old girl. Not that there's anything wrong with being a 17-year-old girl. It's not what I'm saying. But she gets her ass kicked.
He also doesn't, like, really kick her ass all that hard. Like, he could have...
He does at one point hit her with a magic enhanced suplex that looked like... I saw that and I was like, oh, they're actually gonna do a fight. And then they didn't do any more.
Oh, I guess I missed that.
Like, he literally just, like... It's like when Loki gets thrashed by the Hulk in the Avengers movie, the old one. He uses magic and, like, grabs her by the foot and lifts her up over his head and smashes her into the concrete again, and she's, like, fine, but he does do that and it's crazy. So then Magnifico goes, no one's ever gonna be able to wish upon a star ever again, and he blots out the sky. And then through the power of song...
No, through the power of everybody's made of stars. That's why I said it was so important you talk about that song.
Also, he ties up everyone in the city.
Connecting them all.
With magic tethers. And for some reason.
They all secretly, all at the same time, though no one tells them, learn the information that they are all stars. And because of this, have the ability to make their own wishes come true. And so
Asha will sing a song about how everyone is stars and just has to wish really, really hard that this all goes away.
And then it works.
And it works.
And then all their wishes come out of the king, because there was no stakes to begin with. And they all just get returned to everyone through, like, very little ceremony or anything about it. And Star is free, and now the king is trapped inside a mirror because he loves mirrors, because, like, they really established that always, not even a little.
And so then Amaya becomes the sole ruler of Roses. The citizens start doing their wish stuff, and it looks exactly the way it did before anything happened.
And Asha becomes the fairy godmother.
Asha becomes the fairy godmother and forgives Simon. And then the star leaves, and then her grandfather...
the star becomes the wishing star, which is important.
And then her grandfather writes the melody that will inevitably become When You Wish Upon a Star.
Which inspires millions, because Disney, you get it? Okay.
So, this movie's pretty trash. No character has background besides Asha.
And that's not
And
even
her background is
her dad died, and they talk about
her-
it one time.
Yep, her background is her dad died, and she was sad,
And the king's background is his family died, and
so he's paranoid. And
which not even paranoid. No, he just doesn't want anyone to ever lose their wish again.
he also wants everyone to remain hopelessly devoted to him forever.
Which they really
And
could have
never
played into.
question him. Listen, if Asha does nothing at the start of the movie, if Asha has like a normal interview, doesn't make the cut, doesn't get to see the wishes, because like the queen tells her, don't ask to see the wishes.
And he just voluntarily offers that
Yeah.
shit up. He's like, you want to go see the wishes?
If he doesn't do that, if she doesn't see the wishes, nothing changes and nothing is bad, because at the start of the movie, the king is over controlling, but not evil. He's not doing anything evil, just questionable.
But for like a good reason. Quote
Yeah,
unquote.
it's doing a morally gray or ambiguous thing for what you are told is an honorable reason. Is that the case? Not really, but that's where you're sitting at the start of the movie. And everyone is basically fine with that. And it's not like an unknown thing. Like everyone knows they've forgotten their wishes and no one is perturbed by it.
They have a whole line about it, how you forget and don't regret.
Like,
which is not true, because Simon regrets, but you know.
No, Simon was afraid he would regret.
True.
Which is why he becomes a narc and it should be excommunicated forever. There's the only reason the movie happens is because Asha questions the motives that the king has.
Which he doesn't like being questioned.
And the questioning is vague. It's really giving a suggestion and being like, I don't think this is fair. And he could have been like, you're a teenager. What do I fucking care? And nothing could change. And she would be upset about it and then get over it in a little while. And Rosas would continue to be the mild utopia that it was before, where the magical and somewhat benevolent ruler, dictator, grants a wish every month and we just go on from there. And it would be fine. And nothing would change. This movie doesn't need to happen in the universe. It simply doesn't need to occur. Nothing changes. At the end of the movie, guess what? People are still at a minuscule rate achieving their wishes. At the rate of 1 per month, you could say, people are figuring it out. It's just like...
I'll also say, we don't get any reason that Star comes down. Like, there's not, like...
Yeah.
There's not an explanation that will be given to you as to why Star exists, why Star chose Asha, why Star does anything or has the ability to do anything ever that, you know, we might have gotten had it been like a whole ass character, like the love interest boy that we were supposed to, like anything else.
Yep.
But no, we don't get, it's just this little floating creature of chaos who does not really have control over its own magic.
Nope, not
and
really.
just does shit willy-nilly. Star causes so much chaos and problems.
We didn't even talk about the fucking chicken interlude.
We don't need to talk about the chicken interlude.
The chicken interlude is the best piece of animation in the whole movie. Is it necessary? No. Did it happen? Yes.
At least with, like, Moana and the ocean. We know why the ocean chose Moana. We know...
And the ocean does funny hijinks and is overall benevolent and helpful.
The ocean is a better star than Star is. We have that information given to us. There is no... For as much as this movie over-explains itself, it also explains
It doesn't explain
nothing.
anything. It explains what is happening and never context. There's never any context for why anyone's doing anything ever at all. There's no reason for the king to be so perturbed by a 17-year-old intern that he loses his cool all the way and seizes fascist dictators' levels of control over his city.
I would love context as to why the king hates being questioned about anything. Because maybe that would make me understand what's happening.
If we, because we got this like very brief glimpse at Asha's dad when she and the king were having a moment about dead family. If we got a glimpse into the king's past when he had his family and they weren't burned to death, and like he was harassed or he was like chastised for asking questions or something like that, just literally anything to give us a reason, no matter how flimsy, for why he hates being questioned and why he has to be right all the time, it would have given us an ounce of context and an ounce of breathing room to let the plot happen. But because you aren't given that context and because you aren't like even just implied, we don't need to be spoon-fed everything. Netflix and Prime and all these streaming services and Disney in itself are convinced that audiences worldwide need to be spoon-fed art, and there can't be any inference and there can't be any interpretation. And if that's the case, then it's not art. If you cannot interpret it in any other way because they are explicitly stating what it is and there's no other way to look at it, it isn't art. It's just a thing.
My final probably big complaint, I have plenty of little complaints, but my final big complaint ties back into this is the 100-year celebration of a studio who, hate them or love them, corrupt as they may be, has, if you look behind me, created a lot of our childhoods, has created some fantastic works that have formed entire generations. And for 100 years, they have been forming childhoods and getting this brand loyalty because of the magic they can do. And there's been some dips and some ups and downs throughout the way. That's why we have the Disney Renaissance, because it came after a long series of flops for Disney.
Walt Disney is haunting Bob Iger's house right now.
But what this movie, again, tried to do too many things and did none of them well. It shoehorns in Disney references in what could have been like a really cool way, and some of them are cool. To the point that they're so annoying and cringe that you get to the end and find out that Asha becomes the fairy godmother and the king becomes the mirror on the wall, and you're just wanna punch the TV. Like when
it's a fanfic.
It's
a fan fiction by the people who wrote the fiction.
When I like put together that her friends were just the 7 dwarves, I literally wanted to die. It's just so annoying. Like there were 100 ways, and the great thing about Disney is Disney's been doing this the whole time. Hidden Mickeys are a thing because of Disney. Easter eggs in Pixar are a thing. You don't have to make it so shoehorned in
and
over the head, like hit you over the head with it 15 times for us to understand it's an Easter egg. There are cute little nods, like the bear being named John because of Robin Hood, like little things there that like would have been great if I didn't get slapped over the head with all the other ones. They didn't have to use any original ideas, and maybe that's why they scrapped the entire first plot, because they just took a bunch of other shit from every other Disney movie, which there's a way to do that well. There is. They've done it. I know. And they just chose to, again, in a time where they made a million choices, somehow, without fail, every single time they came to a crossroads, they chose wrong. Statistically, it's impossible. I don't really have anything. I've said everything.
It's a shame that at the end of the day, a group of tremendously talented people with success records dating back decades came together and tried really hard to make something worthwhile and an honorific of one of the greatest entertainment studios in history. And they put together something that, in the light of AI, you could tell me it was written by a prompt and I would believe you. You could tell me parts of this were animated by a video engine
By Sora.
via a prompt and I'd believe you. The small moments of genius throughout the movie where the Disney brand really shines through and you feel that nostalgia hit are so few and far between, and no matter how bright they burn, they cannot break through the darkness and depression that is the rest of the movie. It's uninspiring hog shit. Every song is a waste of time. Every character has no motivation, no context, no development at all. At the end of the movie, every character is in the same fucking boat that they were in before, but now all the citizenry are like trying new things. That's it. The king's stuck in a mirror. The queen is acting like the queen was before. Asha's friends are all Asha's friends again. Asha's just hanging out. The populace are doing their thing.
Star's still Star.
Star is the star. And you know when the last time that was? In the first 5 minutes of the movie. Because that's the way it was then. So it's 95 minutes of why did I sit through this? It's 95 minutes of why did I listen to this? And at the end of the day, this is a powerhouse titan of entertainment, and this had to be approved by lots of people. And every one of them, whether they truly believed it was very good or were in fear of people over them claiming that it had to go, signed off on it, and now we sit here, two fucking nerds sitting in our office bitching about how we could have had something great. We could have had something inspiring. You know what you should do? Instead of watching Wish, go on your Disney streaming service and watch the Ode to Animation short that's like 18 minutes long, that came out around the same time Wish
Once
did.
Upon a Studio, I think it's
I
called.
think I think you're right. And that's what this movie wanted to evoke, but this movie never knew how to evoke it. And once again, I'm not going to trash talk the performances. You know, all the people who wrote on this movie have had tremendous careers, all the musicians, everybody. And it just didn't work this time. It just didn't work. And if you haven't seen it, don't. Sometimes when we have a movie that I don't recommend seeing, we'll be like, oh, haha, you could like do a drinking game or something, or you could like, maybe it's background fodder. This is not any of those things. You're not going to have a good time. You're not going to enjoy a drinking game for it. You're not, it's just not worth it. It's a colossal waste of time and space, and you'd be better off watching something else instead. Maybe a better Disney property.
Like one of the other ones from the 100 years the studio's been around.
Or you could just rewatch Encanto. It's fucking great. Or Coco. It's fucking great. That's it.
Yeah, I've said all I needed to say.
I'm exhausted. This movie is so bad. If I had to guess, I'd put this in D or Cats tier right now.
Yeah, I don't.
It's so bad.
At least Cats, like, you can laugh at. Like, there's not
You could laugh at Lake Placid. We just did that. We sat there and we watched this movie, and I looked at America and I said, you know what? Lake Placid was very dumb, but at least it was entertaining. This isn't even that. This is dumb and bad.
And at best, like,
We got more laughs out of Lake Placid than we did this movie.
at best it's annoying, and at worst it makes me feel icky.
It's not good. It's not good.
Next time, it has been voted that we will watch Mario, the new Mario movie.
That'll happen after vacation.
Yeah, we're going on vacation, so
We're leaving. We'll be back later.
it won't really matter, because, like, our streams are bi-weekly anyways, at best, so... But, you know. There you go, guys.
I really ran out of steam. I was just so depressed by the fucking existence of the movie.
No, well, like, when I said my whole piece about the Easter eggs, I was like, I literally don't have anything else to say.
There's not. There's not anything else.
It's just, ugh. Like I said when you guys voted for it, I have so many feelings about this godforsaken movie. And mainly about the movie that doesn't exist. That there is nothing that this movie could have done that would make me enjoy it. There is not a thing it could do.
I think if they killed the king, that would make it worth a little bit more. Or if the people just straight up didn't get their wishes back.
I said something that I was like, oh, that would make such a much... I don't remember what it is now because we said it earlier today. I was like, that would make this whole entire movie better if this just happened right now. Don't remember what it was. I just... Yeah. I'm a Disney adult. I love Disney. It sucks to see something that could have been fantastic absolutely be ruined. And I think that's my biggest issue.
We've been let down.
I was let down. We could have had something amazing. We could have had something great. Even if it's not the movie with the plot I described, we should have had something worthy of 100 years of magic. And we didn't get that.
And we got a DreamWorks fart.
Yeah. They all have DreamWorks face. They all have fucking DreamWorks jokes. It's like Disney's gone so far backwards.
Just a fucking tragedy, man.
And DreamWorks is somehow doing it better.
Yeah.
How to Train Your Dragon was fantastic.
They nailed that shit.
I never thought I'd see the day.